Welcome to this month's episode of Money Mountaineering with Peter Neuwirth. He is interviewing amazing Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro, and we have talked so much with Marguerita for her show, Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng. And I know we're just going to jump right in to talk about the journey to becoming a financial planner, Rita's newest book, Diary of a CFP Pro, and so much more. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Pete. Take it away.
Well, thanks so much, Hope. And boy, I tell you, this is a real thrill because I met Rita it's now a few years ago when we both were working on the task force, which is now the Academy for Home Equity at the University of Illinois. And Rita was kind enough to have me on her podcast way back when I came out with my book, and now I get to return the favor and have Rita on my podcast. And Rita, thank you so much for taking time out to be here. And I want to just start off by saying congratulations on your new book, Diary of a CFP Pro. And I was really excited to read it. And can you tell us all about it? And what it's about, why you wrote it, what it's for, and who's going to get what out of it?
Well, first, thank you so much for inviting me, Pete. It is a pleasure to be here. So, Diary of a CFP Pro, I think a lot of people actually do not know what a financial planner does. In fact, my daughter said this to me, Mom, I think I want to follow you around with my iPhone and just film you because I want people to see what a day in the life of a planner is. But jokes aside, in all seriousness, I think Diary of a CFP Pro is the opportunity to share with others how a CFP Pro can help clients through the many financial decisions and transitions in life.
Well, let's start with what is a CFP and what do you do for people?
That's a great question. So a CFP stands for Certified Financial Planner, also known as Certified Financial Planner Professional or Certified Financial Planner Practitioner. I like to say CFP Pro. So I am a certified financial planner. And essentially what a certified financial planner does is help clients meet their life goals through financial advice that incorporates the relevant personal and financial circumstances.
So you not only help them with their money, but what to do with their money and how to manage their money. I mean, it sounds like it's pretty holistic in its scope.
It absolutely is. So the first thing we start with is getting to understand the clients. This is not just spreadsheets, but it's the quantitative and the qualitative. Then we get into goals. It's not just about identifying, but clarifying and prioritizing the goals. Then we level set, take a snapshot of where they are today. And we can see, based on where they are, how if they do not take any action, what would be the consequences? Then after that, based on their feedback, propose options, implement the options, review, and then it starts all over again. So it's a process.
Well, I noticed that your book is organized as a diary, and it's you kind of go month by month, different subjects in each month. Can you talk a little bit about how you chose? Are these the 12 most important, or actually it's 11 because I guess you start with an introduction, but are these the most important aspects and you just sort of picked up that, or is there some rhyme? I mean, what was the logic to the calendar?
Well, there are 12 months and we pick themes. So we think about January. January is introduction. It's goal setting. I am lucky because we also celebrate the Lunar New Year. So if you didn't quite start your goals in January, guess what? You can start in February. Then February is Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day, planning. When you plan, that's you're demonstrating your love. Now, I want to be clear. If you don't plan, it doesn't mean you don't love your family. By taking that extra step to plan, though, that is a sign of love and care. And I thought, okay, and then we're going into March, which is Women's History, and then April's Financial Literacy and Taxes. May, celebrate our mothers. June, dads and grads. July, Independence Day, and then the cycle continues. So I thought that by having a calendar and theme-based, it could make personal finance more accessible and relatable.
Well, and more interesting too. I mean, I really love the way you've set it out, and I did notice, I had to notice that the subtitle, I don't know if I can read it, the subtitle is a Europe tips to help women flex their financial muscles. Is this book specifically for women, largely for women? I mean, how does that all factor in?
Well, I do think that the advice I'm giving, of course, men, anybody can benefit from this, but I had a particular focus on women because I believe women, regardless of their relationship status, age, socioeconomic status, should take a more active role in personal finance. So that's another reason why I broke it down. I'm passionate about making personal finance accessible and relatable.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you know, like I said, I can't pretend that I haven't profited from the bias that has, you know, given more voice to men over the years, at least in the past, than to women. And so I think it's wonderful that you're, you know, an advocate and you're speaking to them. Can you tell me a little bit about how you became a financial planner and what were the challenges you had to overcome to become really one of the big ones?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. I think that I was always destined to be a planner. However, growing up, I was not aware of the separate and distinct profession of financial planning. I studied East Asian literature and finance undergrad. So I actually wasn't intimidated by math and numbers. I really enjoy numbers. I love solving problems. I don't view them as problems. I view them as challenges. And so I studied finance, and my first job was writing a newsletter at a Japanese securities firm and writing these summaries. So I had to know accounting and finance, and then I had to write these summaries. I felt a little bit disconnected. I really didn't interact with the clients. And at that time I was like, wow, what can I do to be able to address the wealth gap that we're having? This is a while ago, but it still persists. And I said, I can take these concepts I learned in corporate finance and apply them to individuals and families. A balance sheet is really a net worth statement, a statement of cash flows. That is a budget. And so what I did, I am definitely a planner. I saved all my maternity leave, and I did not cash it in until the following year. And I used that time to study for the series 7, 63, 65 in life and health. And I passed all 4 tests in a little less than 2 months with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. So wow. I would say I am very determined. I'm very resilient. I might not be the best salesperson, but what I lack in salesmanship, I make up for in determination and grit and attention to detail.
Well, you know, I mean, one of the things that, I mean, it's no secret. I mean, I wrote about you in my book because, you know, when I met you, I was so taken by the fact that, you know, here is somebody that really was not about selling a product or trying to build a business. It was you were really about helping your clients solve their problems and navigate through the world of money. And I think I put you in my chapter on how to make sure that the help you get is help that is provided that is 100% on your side. And it seems like that's been your philosophy all along, is to make sure you are 100% on the side of your clients.
Absolutely. I'm an advocate for my clients. I'm a champion, I'm a cheerleader, I'm a coach, but most importantly, I'm an advocate. I want to make sure, and of course there are biases, and it's important to just explain it to clients in ways that make sense. So for example, if you see that someone does not have enough life insurance, I do have my life insurance license. I tell them that yes, I can sell life insurance. If I sell you life insurance, I will receive commission, but I don't mark it up. If you want to go online and get it, that's great. If you want to buy it from me, that's fine too. I don't care where you get your insurance, but you have a wife and 2 kids and a big mortgage, and $50,000 of group term is not going to cut it. They appreciate that level of candor. So I think what's really important, Pete, is sometimes we have to be able to tell clients the things they need to hear, but may not want to hear. And I think that's where I've been able to excel. People know that I genuinely care. Like I said, I was like, I don't care what you get insurance, but 50,000 isn't going to cut it. And many times the spouse will say, oh my gosh, I'm really glad that you brought this up. Like, because I do it in a way where I'm not talking down to people. I'm not talking over people. I'm just saying, hey, here's what you told me. This is based on your goals and objectives. I'm not telling you how much to buy. I'm just saying that based on the data that you presented, that there is a shortfall. So that shortfall could be insurance. It could be for retirement. It could be for education. We don't need to address 100% of that shortfall today, but you hired me to develop a financial plan to help you reach your goals. And with that in mind, where do you want to get started? How do you suggest we proceed? And so it is all about them. It's all about them.
So, but you have a business, right? I mean, you have a firm, and so many of those in the financial services industry are all, they're trying to build their business as well, and there's all kinds of revenue streams, whether they're from commissions or fees or referrals or all kinds of different ways that money comes in. How do you balance those revenue streams, and what is your business model to allow you to continue to be so much an advocate for your clients?
So this may sound a little bit naive, but I believe it in my heart. When I entered the business with a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, I didn't really have a natural market. Believe it or not, I built my business. I can't believe I'm saying this, but by making outbound calls. I was actually pretty good on the phone. Like my first year, I acquired 33 clients. 31 were from strangers. 32 was my dad. 33 was the girlfriend. So my philosophy is be respectful, listen. If someone says it's not a good time, then respect that, follow up, and let people know that you, instead of saying, oh my goodness, I need to make a sale, you have to change your mindset. I was like, you know what? Let these people see how much planning can help them and how I can help them. And if I'm not the right person, I hope that they had a positive experience. Not about being a people pleaser. I hope they had a positive experience in meeting with me, understanding how planning can help them. And if the time isn't right or I'm not the right planner for them, I'm okay with that. And I'll tell you, Pete, that has served me really well. It's really about putting a lot of good energy in the universe, doing right by people, and it will come back to benefit. You have to have a long-term perspective. And when you put people first, everything else follows.
So you're not just being an advocate for your clients, you're being an advocate for the profession, which is wonderful, because I think these days trust in helping in solving problems is so important, and it seems like you're adding trust to the whole system, which is a rare commodity these days. So thank you for that. I wanted to go back a little bit. We talked about your new book, but this is not your first book. I mean, you wrote a book, I don't know when your first book came out, but it was called Wealth Management Rules, if I recall. And I think you had 12 principles there that to guide you in managing. And one of the ones that I really liked was to think about what you learned from your parents in around money. What did you learn from your parents, and was it good? And do people get good advice from their parents? Or how has that parental advice manifested in your experience with those that you work with?
I got very good advice from both parents. And I respect my dad so much because my dad, a lot of people think that you should just buy life insurance on the person who is working outside of the home. My dad bought whole life insurance on my mom. And I think that's really important because this is another story I got from my parents. When I was 10 years old, my mom's brother's wife, so my aunt, passed away. They had 4 children. And my uncle, that's my mom's brother, asked my dad, "Oh, can you loan me money?" My dad said no. Now, I don't want you to think my dad was a jerk. My dad said, "No, I'm not going to loan you money. I will pay for the funeral. I'll pay for the funeral because you should not have to mourn the loss of the mother of your 4 children and experience financial distress at the same time." I was 10 years old. And what that taught me is planning. My family always took the time to help others. And my dad didn't like judge, why didn't you get life insurance? But it was that time when I was like, wow, the fact that my dad was able to help my uncle during a very difficult time gave me a tremendous sense of pride. And from that example, I'm telling you, I think I was destined to be a planner because every time my dad went on a business trip, I'm the eldest of 3 girls. And my dad said to me, if anything happens to daddy, you got to take care of your mom and 2 sisters. And people say, "Oh my God, that's horrible. That's cruel to do it to a 10-year-old. I mean, I admit I was a little bit young, but I didn't know any better. And my dad going through that exercise it wasn't cruel. It was his way of demonstrating and showing love that, hey, if anything happens, here's the safe. You need to know the combination. Here's the life insurance policy. So we talked about insurance. And my parents also said that, the reason why my mom was able to be a stay-at-home parent is because they lived within their means. So that was many times, I think we think these are the new rules about money, but the new rules are tried and true, old rules. It's retro.
The other thing about, and I get this when I talk to young kids all the time, is that it's a different world. And we only have a few minutes left, but can you talk a little bit about how you are viewing this current, very tumultuous, maybe turbulent environment, and how do you help your clients through the turbulence? And maybe it's different than it was many years ago. Maybe it's not.
Of course, I do believe in financial planning. I also think that financial planning is focusing on the financial picture, the assets, the liabilities, the income, expenses. But we also need to help our clients manage human capital. So sometimes that might mean we have to help our clients see that, hey, it's okay for them to step back from where they are to move forward. So that's how I've been helping clients. I've also been helping clients negotiate better pay, bonus, compensation, ability to work virtually. I know that right now everyone is working virtually, but we started this practice in 2017. So really, if clients do have to work longer, I've been encouraging them, hey, I know you want to retire when you're 62. You can, but you might not have as much flexibility. I'm not saying you have to work at 70, but 62, 65, then take your vacation. So helping clients understand the importance of managing human capital, helping clients understand, you look at my mantra that their health is really important and not to feel bad about, doing things that they enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're just about out of time, and I just wanted to know what's next. What's next for you?
What's next? Another book, and continuing to champion financial planning.
Well, that's great. That's great. And so the two books are Diary of a CFP Pro, which has just come out, and but go back and get the first one too. And that's Wealth Management Rules. And Rita, thank you so much for being on the show, and best of luck. And I can't wait for this third book to come out, and we'll have you back.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you both. This is so much fun. And I must disclose that Incandescent is the proud publisher of both of Rita's books. So we are thrilled to roll out Diary of a CFP Pro this April for what is it, Rita? It's Financial Planning Month, right? So we're so excited about that. And we are so thrilled to also continue to sell Wealth Management Rules. So Pete, thank you so much for hosting this beautiful show, Money Mountaineering with Peter Neuwirth. And of course, tune in every Friday at 5 p.m. for Margaritas with Marguerita Cheng, CFP Pro. I'm Hope Katz-Gibbs of Incandescent. Thank you all for listening, and we will bring more fascinating financial advice to you in the coming months. Take good care.